Good afternoon, everybody, and welcome to the studio. Happy Saturday. Hope you're having a good afternoon. Minnie's thinking about it. She's judging. She's measuring. She's thinking. Is she gonna do it? Don't disturb her. I need to get the tiles on the other side of her, so. I'll help you just like I do Kiba. There you go. She's just a little bit unsure. She was nervous because the first time she jumped up there after I moved it, it wobbled too much for her liking, and so she was nervous. So Daniel is at the St. James Court Art Show for the second day. I'm going to go up and help him tear down tomorrow. Woo! Here we go. Hoping I twisted that the right way. Oh well. It'll work. I just hope this doesn't like lift up. This is the first piece. The tile shifted a little bit. This is going to be a yarn bowl. Or at least I hope it will. It is 2 pounds of clay. Oh good, I do have one of these. Get some more water out of here. There she is. Just keeping an eye on us. Now these are going to be my regular yarn bowls. This is it's going to be 6 inches when it's done, and just like the mugs, it's a little bit bigger than that now. Mm-hmm. You leaving us? You gonna go lick the bowl? Let me move the bowl. She says no more supervision needed. Now these bowls, like I said, they're the 6-inch size, but they some of these are going to have words on them. Some of these are going to be phrase mugs, and some of them are going to just be plain. Here we go. Actually, I need to do this again because I did move the camera after I measured that one. Alright, that's a lot better. Let's do this. I'm not going to set this one over next to Minnie. She's like, don't you trust me? There we go. Daniel, that is not a mug. Did you read the title? It said yarn bowls and mugs. It is a yarn bowl, or it will be. If Minnie doesn't come lick it to death. Woo. There we go. I'm hoping this one will be a yarn bowl. One Kentucky platter and one pie plate. So what colors are left? Well, I guess which colors sold first? Because I know I made the Starry Night. I made one that was denim and white, and I think I did a red one. I did Sedona, and then there was Misty Forest and Stormy Skies.
When you walked in, I felt love. I knew it was a long shot, but something
It's supposed to be instrumental.
pushed me to the edge.
Oh, Minnie's platter. I'm surprised that one didn't go first. So we have one of our big platters that has Minnie's footprints in it. So some literal stamps of approval. see, I've got 2 more in this bag. That gives me 8. I don't know how many I have. I have to go count. I think I'm missing some. Arg. But at least we have like a key to tell us exactly where it tore off, right? Okay. We'll see if we can still do this. See how wonky it is. Hey, Gru! And Hustler, welcome. Good afternoon. Hope you're having a good weekend. Alright, that's looking good. I'm gonna try to stretch it out a little bit more, but it's not wobbling too much. It was a pretty even break. Let me trim that bit off at the bottom. Slow it down. This is going to be the real test right here because we're stretching it out. We'll see if it, how off-center it is. So it's not too bad. That's really not bad at all. That's not a bad wobble. Because once it stops, you're not really going to see it. But one side, if you can see on the top, one side is just a little bit, just a little bit thicker than the other side, and that's just the unevenness from the repair. So this side is just, this rim is just a little bit thinner than this side. You can see this side's a little bit thicker. And that's where the uneven, it was just a little bit uncentered after the fix. And that's why it's so important to center it first, because if it's really off center, you're not going to be able to make anything like this, because one side's going to be real thick and one side's going to be thin. And that's just what a little bit of a off center can get you. You were saying one side's a little thinner. I thought you were asking which side was thinner. Sorry about that. we go. There we go. Okay, that's number 9. We'll do one more. Once I get a tile. This one's really dry. I'm gonna have to put a bit more force on this than I'm used to. Most of the time, you don't have to put a lot of force behind centering the clay and opening it up, even on something, you know, larger like this. This is 2 pounds of clay, where I'm normally working with 1 pound or less for the mugs. This one's a little bit drier, so I had to push a bit harder to get it centered. Need to just leave this thing alone. I'm gonna mess it up here in a minute if I don't quit messing with it. Here we go. All right, now we have 10 of these. And I want to make some of the smaller yarn bowls, which are going to be made into the double yarn bowls. So same shape, just smaller. This is also the medium-sized plant pot. There we go. And so with these, I'll put 2 of these. These are going to be around like 4 inches when they're done. 2 of these together, kind of like connect them at the flatten the sides and connect them, and then put a handle between them so that you can have a double yarn bowl, which means you can have work with 2 colors at the same time. This is 1 pound. Or like at most 1 pound, 2 ounces, just a little bit over 1 pound. Because I add a little bit extra just because I know I'm going to end up trimming some of it off. So it's the same weight I use for the mugs. Whoop, whoop, whoop. Let's clean this off. think I'll do 10 of these as well. So what's everybody been doing this weekend? Daniel is up at the St. James Court Art Festival up in Louisville. And I'm making stuff for our next show. Got to remember what I'm making here. This is not a mug. It's the difference in a bowl and a mug. A mug you make tall and thin right away, whereas a bowl you throw you pull a shorter cylinder because you're going to be stretching it out wide. Hustler, you're just watching Twitch. That sounds like a good Saturday. Okay. There we go. Better than TV? Better than TV? Yeah, it's like we don't even have cable. We haven't had cable in years and years and years. We watch Twitch, or if there's something specific we want to watch, we stream it. I found that interesting, like when people first started just like, not getting cable anymore in the mid to late 2000s, because there were just so many other ways to watch things. And I remember one of the things that like kind of stood out to me was that like my nieces, they've never had cable because they've never needed to have cable. It's always just been, what streaming service, Netflix or Hulu or whatever, what are we watching? YouTube. And so they've never seen anything that's on public television unless, specifically sat down and they choose to watch it. So they none of them have ever seen Sesame Street. Not as some of us did, where it was just, it was on in the mornings. Kind of like the Saturday morning cartoons things. It's just not a thing anymore. Jenkins, hello. You like the streaming setup? Yeah, it's cool to be able to see my hands and my face talking, yes. It took us a little bit to figure out how to work with a green screen in here, but it works. The other thing we used to do was we had the frame that we had 3 different camera angles going at once. We had the big one, which was the left-hand camera, which was this right here, the side view, and the top down was separated into 2 chunks, one being a face cam and one being the top down. So we had that's what we had at first, and for a long time. Or at first it was only 2, and then it became 3. We originally had our setup in the front of our studio here, where we had a little gallery set up, so I was throwing and you could see all the things I made behind me. But now I am in the back of my studio, and it's very much less decorative back here. It's just me and the shelves and the bathroom and the sink. It's like you didn't realize that till I said it. It's like, well, I was saying the other day, like the first TV show in years and years and years that we watched as an episode when it came out, like we looked forward to it coming out and made time to watch it the day that it came out, was WandaVision a couple of years ago. And I'd forgotten what an experience that was. You know, we're so used to just, you know, binging everything all at once or just watching whatever we want to watch, however many episodes we want to watch. But I forgot how fun that could be. Did you send me an email? Okay, I'll have to look for it. I did not see it, but I'll have to look for it again. No. So I have your email. If it's the same email, then I've got it. Yeah. But I am glad you came in and said something about it again, because I guess I was thinking that I should be looking for an email from you, but what were the colors you said? One was pink and one was what? What was the other one? And red. Okay, and we're shipping all to the same place we shipped to last time. That's 8. Let's do 2 more of these. Colleen, good afternoon. How are you? I'm working on some yarn bowls for Rhinebeck. These are going to end up being the double yarn bowls. Whoop. And it works a lot better if I don't hit them. There we go. Oh, you've had a busy morning. You just came in from yard work and bathing Bentley. Shoo. What do you call the dryer, Colleen? Is it like just put a box fan on him? Or do you try to like blow dry his fur? It's a high velocity dryer the groomers use. Like a blow dryer. Oh, okay, okay. Well, see, I've seen what they do to cats when they say they put them in the dryer. They have they put them in a cage with like box fans on either side of them, pissing them off real good. When he gets tired of standing, yeah. Wait, so that I did 10 of those. I want to do a 10-ounce mug, so I do need to hydrate. I've made 10 pieces. Right, I'll measure, I'll finish this one, then measure it, and then see if I need to make any changes. That is perfect. Let me get the water out. Adjust the guide. Okay. So I want to definitely do 15 of these guys. These little 10-ounce mugs. So aside from having done it for so long, how do I know how much one of my cups will hold? So I start by measuring. And when I'm making them, I'm measuring them as I go. Right now, I've got a guide set up in OBS, so I've got a line that I'm measuring to. So I make sure they're all the same size. Because for these, like they need to be, an approximate volume. So I made some tests and made notes on how big they were when I made them, and then to see how much they would hold afterwards. And so I know how big to make them, before they're fired. This one is weird. This one has got like a lump in it. Because you've got to make everything a little bit bigger right now than it will be when it's done, because the clay is going to shrink. So for things like travel mugs or anything that needs to be a very specific size, I have to make it like 12% larger. In the case of a mug, that's about a 1/2 inch. Just try to compress that lump down. I don't think it's a foreign object. I think it's just a bit of dried clay. So, you know, it's all that math that they tell you that artists don't use. Yeah, like for the travel mugs that I make, the lids are like 3.5 inches wide, or that's what I need the rim of my mug to be. So I make it, and I know I'm using all kinds of different measurements here, but like I don't remember the exact millimeters for 3.5 inches. I just know it's about that. But I measure the rims, the outside of the rim, to be 10 centimeters. Or just 1 or 2 millimeters less. So and when I make those, like I actually do need to make one today, but like only like 1 or 2, so I'll make one, but and show you. But so I have to like measure it sometimes 2 or 3 times and adjust it to get it right.
So if you want my love, it's free to you. I'll wander down
Feather for Life. Oh, we got to meet at TwitchCon. Nice. Sure, that was only like 2 weeks ago, wasn't it? Man, it's been a long, long month, because we had a show the beginning of the month, and then 2 weeks later TwitchCon, and then now 2 weeks later this one, and then 2 weeks later we've got another one. Every year we say we're not going to do this again, but then here we are. And next year TwitchCon falls in October, so we're going to be splitting up again and being on either side of the country. Oh, you were helping Quill Tony. Okay, I remember you. She wasn't too happy with her experience when I was talking to her. I hope it got better. Well, but at least it's going to be in San Diego for the next several years. Hey, Sean. Good afternoon. I'm having a pretty good Saturday. I hope you are too. I'm feeling productive. Definitely, Feather. Yeah, it helps with planning. Well, San Diego is just a good place for a trade show. You want a convention center that has, like, enough stuff around it for people to do, like to go and eat and park, but not so much that it's a distraction. Like, Vegas was a distraction. Being in Florida and Orlando would be a distraction. The dates for 2025 are the third weekend in October. 19th, something like that, whatever the 19th is, which I think is the third weekend. Was that... Yeah, that's 8 so far. Oh, it'll be cooler? Might actually need jackets this year. I know, it felt so good when we were out there. But we came from, southern Kentucky and southern humidity and heat, so... It felt really cool for us. It did. San Diego is one of the hardest places in the country for you to get a cheap, convenient flight to, really. Where are you at? What's the other airport there? Because I've flown into another airport before that was a little bit cheaper and driven down to San Diego. Oh, gotcha. Yeah, you book a year in advance if you can. But yeah, no, the exact dates are up already. Guitar Doll, you want to see if you can go to the Rotterdam one because you'll be in Europe for 5 months. Yeah, that would be an experience. Yeah, why not? All right, we have 10. You found a nice Airbnb for that weekend? That's how you did Vegas, and it was great fun. Yeah. Try to hydrate after every 10 pieces. So hydrate with me if you need to. My Dash, hello. Good afternoon. So what I'm making right now are, well, hold on, let me get this compressed. There we go. It was starting to not stick to the wheel. Not following my own rules. The first rule of doing anything on the wheel is to place the clay firmly on the wheel. There we go. But what I'm making are my smaller mugs, my 10-ounce mugs. They, and it's actually, that's what is cut in half over here to make my glaze chart. Sean, there is a yacht for rent in the marina across the street for staying in. I can see that. There's lots of yachts there. One of them had a name that was like so hilarious. I have to think about it now. What was it? You drive right by them every morning. I have to tell Daniel about that. Yeah, that sounds like an experience. How much is it a night? I mean, like compared to some of the hotels, that's not bad. Sleeps 5. Yeah. As long as you put 2 on the floor. All right, we'll do 2 more of these. Oh yeah, no, we've done that with big groups before. I like it. Because there was a couple of shows we would do as vendors in California, and for several years we got together with a couple other vendors and got an Airbnb and split it for that very reason. Alright. So we got 16 of these. That takes us, or brings us up to 36. Alright, I'm going to see if I can put 2 of these together and make a tankard. Because that's the correct weight for a tankard. So this is going to be the 24-ounce tankard. So with its wider base. Key does props. Hello, thank you for the follow. So we have a 24-ounce tankard. And then I'm going to do this one as my travel mug. I said I needed to make a travel mug. How often in advance do I have to make items that I'm going to sell? It depends on the show and what I'm doing. It's like for items that I have in stock at my gallery, I kind of make them as I sell them. So if I'm low on a certain phrase of mug, I'll make a bunch of them and have them ready to go. And sometimes I will glaze a couple, send them out to the gallery, and have some here that are I can just leave until I'm ready to glaze them. In case I get an order for a custom color. That bit of clay stuck to my hand because my hand was dry. Let's see if I can put it back. It may come off again, but we'll see. But like everything takes 2 weeks of time. At the very least, it takes 2 weeks of time just to process, enough pieces to make a kiln load, and then to fire that kiln load and get it, bisque and glaze it all. And like I say, it depends on what type of show I'm going to as well. For things that, like, the show that Daniel's at right now is a lot of bakeware. So I made up, specifically made up a bunch of soup bowls and a lot of kitchen items and pie plates and stuff. Kentucky themed things. For the gaming shows we've just done, we did Gen Con and Dragon Con and then TwitchCon. I'm making nothing but mugs, and I'm making them like for an entire month in advance. And at this point, like, I hardly ever have to start from scratch because I've always got something, you know, that I'm going to take with me. So it's kind of like taking inventory and seeing what I need to fill in the holes with. Because not everything is going to sell at every show. Measure this again. I feel like it needs to be taller. Yeah. Ooh, oh dear. At least it fell the other way. Figuring out what is going to be sold and then making inventory is key. Yeah. And because, you know, the show that we're at this weekend is a fine art show. Not every show is a fine art show. Not every show am I going to take, like, pie plates to, or, you know, bakeware or flower pots. We've been going to several of the like fandom conventions and gaming cons, and there we only take mugs. And so sometimes that's a little bit simpler when you only have like one product to take, but, you know, 144 variations. And that just, you know, it takes time to figure out, you know, what sells best in what area, or what type of show, what sells best in what type of shows. Now this is where I'm measuring this, and I'm measuring it at 10 centimeters from the outside edge. That's a bit too wide, but just barely. That's better. That's perfect. Oh, Feather, thank you. Yeah, and as far as inventory goes, like, we've found out over the years that you're hardly ever going to sell more than half of what you bring. That's just, I think it just has to do with people shopping, and once you get low on stock, like, you know, people think, oh, it's been picked through, so, you know, I'm just going to wait. I really don't know why. So, you know, there's been times where we've sold more than half, but But those are very, very. Though I think that's been like once, once or twice. But where we, maybe a first show and we underestimated the volume, but with so that's kind of like a good rule of thumb is like when you look at all of your inventory and you maybe count it up and say, okay, how much should I expect to make from this show? Like, it's not going to be more than half of the, inventory you brought. So that's kind of a good sales number to have in mind. And a good goal to set yourself if you have something that you want to make, like a dollar amount that you think you want to make it a good show. You need to make sure you have double that inventory. Yes, Colleen, we're both going to be there this year. Yeah, for once. And then next year we'll have to see who goes where again. Now this one is not going to be a travel mug, but it needs to be a it's what the travel mugs started out as. They're needle holders. They're tumblers. So I started making these just like tumblers that people could use as a vase or whatever we wanted, and then I made them, I was like, I can measure the rim and make it a travel mug. It can be a vase, and I took them to the fiber shows, and they were needle holders. And then I started putting lids and handles on them, and they became travel mugs. Come on, stay with me now. We're almost there. All right. And that's all it is. And this will have a phrase on it. I forget what's been ordered, but it has been customized. So I'll add that once it dries out a bit. And this one will be done. Alright, so now I think I'm ready to go back to the regular mugs. So these are just going to be the 20-ounce mugs. And just like with the smaller mugs, I'll make this one and then measure it and set my guide. I like it when I get it right the first time. There we go. All right, this should be 40. So let's see if I can do 60 of these now. Has anybody read any like spooky Halloween books? There you can usually find so many like book recommendations this time of year that deal with, you know, magic and witches and or, you know, ghosts and scary stuff. So I'm always looking for recommendations for like books with magical systems and witches or folklore and stuff. I'm listening to Wayward right now, which is really, really good. It's about three women in history who are descended from one another. It has like a woman in the 1600s being tried for witchcraft, a woman in 1930s, late 30s World War II Europe, and then someone in the what I'm assuming is current current day for whenever it was written. And it actually it tells all three stories without getting them confused, which not all books can do that, and not all like narrators can do that. When you're listening to things in an audiobook, you don't always get the like breaking up of chapters very well, but they do it well. Weirden, good afternoon and welcome. Thank you for the follow. We are just making it a bit muggy in here today. I've already made some yarn bowls and some of my smaller mugs and a few odds and ends. You've been listening to the Keeper Chronicles. You enjoyed Wayward. Oh, good. I'm enjoying it too. Yeah, I think it was just now available on Hoopla, which is the library app. Because it had been recommended to me before, but I don't know if I just didn't. Maybe it wasn't a long enough book for me to spend one of my Audible credits on. Because I'm very stingy with my Audible credits. Throw with us DMs, hello. Good afternoon. Or is it my kind of throwing? DMs you've watched before? You're also roll. Yeah, so like I was looking like wait, no, I could have sworn it said throw. So, but he did. Yeah, you followed us throw and then roll with us DMs. That you're starting to have some fun throwing on a wheel. So you were getting ready to go live tonight. Nice. But whenever you see us on, you try to jump in. Well, thank you. Want to make this one a little bit taller. There we go. So you say you're going live tonight. DMs, what game are y'all playing tonight? How fast we're able to make these items. Thank you. These are my 20-ounce mugs, and they are the item that I make the most of. This is the thing that I sell the most, so it's what I have the most practice with. The Keeper Chronicles trilogy is on Audible for 1 credit for all 3 books. Nice. I wonder, are they running some type of sale right now? I'll have to check that out. It's sold as a trilogy. Gotcha. You're on the second book. Each book follows a different character, but it's in the same world. So you got the world building and the good versus evil premise are all the same. And it's fantasy, so I like it even better. Elves, wizards, keepers of knowledge versus the evil they thought was gone. Yeah, I'm always reminded of like one time I heard like a description of like what is sci-fi versus fantasy in any, you know, whether it's in, you know, movies, TV, or books. Well, what's the difference? The stories are usually the same. It's do you want your stories with trees and magic, or do you want your stories with nuts, bolts, and science? How do you like your stories dressed up? And I do prefer fantasy. Feather, you like how the title says Earthbending? Yes. Well, I thought, like, of all the different magical systems out there, I thought that best described, like, if I had to pick one for pottery, that would be the best one, I think. You think you fall into both categories? Yeah, I call myself the Earthbender, and then we, of course, we say we do Earthbending and firebending and water bending. It's everything, right? But we call Wonder Hamster the Firebender because he was always the one who liked to do the raku firings, so to set things on fire. Which we might need to do like one more raku firing this year for some Christmas ornaments, but So for no, I don't mind that question. If with the negativity surrounding J.K. Rowling, how does the Harry Potter themed mugs sell? They do still sell well. And I have some people who just don't feel comfortable like being associated with it anymore, and that's fine. But a lot of people look at it as like they enjoy the content. They don't have to enjoy the creator, but they can enjoy the content. And that's kind of how I look at a lot of things. Is that there's a lot of the authors that I like that I don't necessarily they agree with a lot of the things that they may say, or they may have had poor standpoints on things in their lifetime, but I can still enjoy their content. And while I don't know how Harry Potter's going to age. I don't know how it's going to be in another 10, 20 years. Or are we all going to grow out of it? Is it going to seem dated? But you can't deny what her writing did for children's literature. It opened up so many more paths for children's literature. It made people respect that the young adult genre a whole lot more. So even though her personal beliefs have turned out to be really horrible, I can still enjoy the content. The person may be stinky, but they make good pies, yeah. Right, like those stories made such a huge impact on so many people's lives. It's hard to just you can't take that away. And what makes it hurt so much too is that in the stories they're very inclusive stories, and then for the author to be so small-minded is like a slap in the face to a lot of people. But I will say, one thing I have noticed is so when I first started making Harry Potter things, it was still you didn't see a lot of stuff retail for Harry Potter. And if you did, it was Gryffindor, Slytherin, and that was it. Maybe a t-shirt or something here or there, but not a lot for adults. All right, so that's when I first started making things. And so the things that I would sell a lot of, I would always sell out of Hufflepuff and Ravenclaw, or other things first before I ever sold a Gryffindor, because people were hungry for that content. They didn't see that stuff, and it was something for an adult, not just for a kid. So but now and one reason I think people Hufflepuffs did not feel represented. And because they tend to, if you identify with Hufflepuff, you may tend to be an outsider. And those are the ones that she has pissed off with her viewpoints. And so I don't tend to sell as many Hufflepuffs anymore. So I have noticed that. And, there are just as many people out there who probably don't even know her standpoint or don't care. Or, don't follow it closely enough to, have to realize there's an issue. Wolfie Hound, that is correct. Yeah, like you say, you can look at it as the person may be stinky, but they make good pies. And another viewpoint, you could be, or how you could be hundreds of miles away, but your beautiful and elegant creations still hit like a meteor to the heart, like you threw them right against my chest. Yeah. You are both Hufflepuff and Ravenclaw. So are you a Ravenpuff or a Huffleclaw? A puff-clawed huffling raven. You know, and thinking about like public figures who are actually, you know, decent people, wonderfully decent people. How about Dolly Parton? I'm from Tennessee. I'm living in Kentucky right now. So we're in southern Kentucky. So in our shop's in Tennessee. And I was with all the destruction from Helene. You know, it's probably gonna take well over a year to get things back to normal. There's so much that's gone. There's, you know, roads that aren't gonna even be open until late next year now to get through the mountains. There was a Dolly Parton had a fundraiser yesterday, and so I watched part of it to see what she said, and she always makes me laugh because she well, first, like, she's saying Jolene, but instead of Jolene, she's saying Helene. And like, she is just, I'll say it, she's a hoot. She got up and was saying, now there's all these things on this teleprompter they want me to say, but I'm just going to talk until I can't talk anymore. I'm like, that's just great. So I'm just going to tell y'all how it is. I'm like, all right, here we go. She is such a light in dark times, right? That's right, and she's done so much for that area, and then just to have it all destroyed. But she started off the fundraiser with $2 million. I don't know what they got to. They're using the ag center where SAF was as a shelter. See, I didn't even know if it was still standing. I hadn't seen like updates about that. I know Lisa, who runs SAF, like she's okay, but like they haven't heard much from them because they don't have internet. It's been like other people speaking on their behalf. So I don't know how her shop is fared. I don't know, but I did see where it was obviously canceled. But oh yeah, Colleen, would they have been in the path of it all? The mountain that was just behind where they lived got the 32.5 inches of rain. Yeah. Yeah, Feathers, like you don't have the details yet, but you've been thinking about doing a fundraiser for those affected. Yeah, there's so many different places that that need help and that you can donate to. So your parents' mailing address was Hendersonville, but they were actually right near Horseshoe. Okay, so I know exactly where Hendersonville is because I think that's where we would always end up staying when we were at SAF. So heat tender. So yes. So the mountains of North Carolina and Tennessee got hit harder than Florida because they were in the mountains, and it just the hurricane moved through Florida, it just sat on the mountains. And it being mountains, they had already had a lot of rain, so they were already saturated, and then it just like I said, what 32 inches of rain, it just flooded, and so it just washed down the valleys. It's like nobody expects a hurricane to come through the mountains. And so nobody was prepared for it at all because they didn't think it was going to do that. Yeah, Chimney Rock is the town that's basically gone. Yeah, I saw the pictures of the Biltmore where like the water was up on the where it was up to on the bricks. Yeah, and so many things were in Asheville. Like, you know, they lived up to their name. High water clay is completely gone. They were a clay manufacturer. They were a big place. That and so like there was just a lot of arts industry there that is now gone. That's trying to figure out how to rebuild. Like the company that makes my sponges, these throwing sponges and tools like this. This is a mud tool. This is a mud tools tool. They were there. They are gone. I don't even want to know what the price is on these things now on the internet. Like, I haven't even looked them up yet because I have a few extra here to hold me for a while. But like, cause that's where they made them. It was a family-owned business. They made their tools there. It's not like they had them manufactured somewhere else and, you know, shipped out. The place where I get my a lot of my glazes from down in Nashville, Mid-South, they are donating like a percentage of all of their sales through November to one of the organizations that helps artists recover from natural disasters. Yeah. Mel's, thank you for the follow. And Jesse, good afternoon. You know what? I am not sure. I am going to guess that Kiba is next to the kiln. That's where he's been most of the day because it was warm. So I'm going to guess that Kiba's next to the kiln, and Minnie, I don't know. Minnie was actually here at the beginning of the stream, but I haven't seen her in a while. I don't see anybody in the front window. Oh, Weirden, you have a friend in Asheville and they still don't have power or water. I saw that they're resorting to mules to get things up there because there's no other way. There's before and after pictures of like the weather site showing the damage in some areas. Yeah, rivers flowing where roads and houses were before, or just nothing. Well, like you said, the town that got wiped away. See, we're losing it. Here we go. Yeah, and it's just like, it's hard to wrap your mind around that devastation and the fact that like the roads, like all the roads in and out are just closed. There may be one open now, but like I was talking to somebody on the phone that was like thinking about having a big order shipped, and they're like, you know what, we could just come pick it up. Yeah, we might just come pick it up because we're in Virginia. We could just drive over and spend the day in Nashville. And I'm like, well, are you sure you can get here? And they're like, oh, I need to check and see. I hadn't thought about that. Yeah. Is it as quick of a drive as it used to be? Ooh, we are wobbly. Let's see if we can calm this down. There we go. See, your pool doesn't have to be like perfect. You can stretch it out and smooth it out and be good. have no earthly idea how many I have here. That's 40. Okay, that was 60. Okay. So I need to hydrate. We have 60 pieces. Hey, Chaotic Kitten. Good afternoon. You were out in the sun all morning, so you've been drinking water and Gatorade all day, staying hydrated. Good. I just get into a bad habit of not drinking anything while I'm throwing, and so it's been, I'll go several hours without having anything. You've been trying to drink more water, yeah. Since you've been trying to get at least 3 kilometers worth of steps in every day. What does that translate to? That's a lot. That's what it translates to. A lot. Yes, I'm supposed to hydrate like after every 10 pieces, but I obviously forget. But it also makes me kind of keep count of what I have too, so twofold. All comes down to making me pay attention. Yeah, it does add up, yeah. If you take transit, yeah, there's lots of walking in between stops and stuff. Yeah, we'll be at a show and we'll be walking around or standing all day, or at places where we have to walk around a lot just to get back and forth from where we parked or from our hotel. Daniel will wear his watch and it would be like, great job, you met your goal in, in 1 hour. And then like, the next week it's like, you're not as active this week. Are you okay? Oh, okay. Right now you're using going by time to track your steps, like 15 minutes equals a kilometer. Gotcha, gotcha, gotcha. Oh, hey, Kiba. Yeah, I asked where he was. There he is. He's within elbow biting range, so I gotta be careful. He's purring. He's purring. He knows I'm almost done. He knows the process. He's starting to purr. He's like, I'm about to get pets. There you go. Oh, you're lazy. He's an old man. Come on. Here you go. Come say hi to everybody. Come on. Here we go. Get your tail out of the water bucket. Lift me now, woman. Yes. Hey, Wonder Hamster. Yes. I know. I'm third in command. I'm not even second. Kiba, then Minnie. Sometimes Minnie, then Kiba. He's an old man. I'm not going to make him jump if he doesn't want to jump. I'm a well-trained human. Oh, happy butt. He knew to wait for me to be done. He seriously does. And if I had not put this up here, if I had gotten another tile out and started another one, he would have stopped purring. I realized that once when he did that, like he would come up here and just wait for me to be done and he would jump on the wheel. Of course, first, he doesn't want to get his feet wet. So he's not going to jump up here when it's wet. I had to put a dry tiled bat down before he would jump up here. Well, you know, like jump from like the table to here, or jump from the clay box over. Oh, here we go, buddy. I'm sorry, I moved it. Here we go. Come on. Here we go. The lizard has not been recovered. Say a few kind words for it and its tail. Hey, look, it's Thanksgiving, Kiba. Yeah, it's been a while since Minnie's brought in a lizard, but she got a big one yesterday. That's a water bowl. So yeah, it's a raised water bowl, and I was commissioned to make them for a French bulldog. And so I used Kiba as my model because he's about the same size as a French bulldog. And so I made one for him too. We have a couple for sale at the shop. Because I made that, and I made a like a slow feeder as well. But no, like, because Kiba, he will drink from, like, it's what he's doing now. He will drink from the edge of the bowl and just, like, you know, slobber and drip it and splash it everywhere. So having it tilted lets him do that for whatever reason he wants to drink that way, and then he doesn't make a mess. Healthier? How is it healthier? Oh, a lifted bowl, yes. I was thinking, I read tilted. But yeah, lifted bowl, they don't have to bend over as much. Hey. Looks like you've had enough time. You allowed me to make one mug, and I appreciate it. There you go. Yeah, Colleen, you have enough yarn to run your own right back. Yeah. Showstopper Kiba, yep. Ready to go for a spin? Hmm? You ready to go for a spin? Here we go. We'll go slow. Mm-hmm. He's like, I hate you so much. But not really, because I'm getting pets. There we go. And now you got your tail all dirty again. There we go. Cuddles. There's a big purr going on right now. His face may look disgruntled, but there's a big purr. Colleen, we might do that because we will be through there. He has a moderately angry face. Your cat used to always move his water bowl before drinking and dip his paw in the water to see it move. Yeah. Buddy, I gotta make some more mugs. Thank you. What about belly scratches? Nope, nope. 2 licks and 1 bite. Nope. Right there, okay. Come on, buddy. You have a water trough for the 2 of them there, yeah. The purrs are huge. But I gotta make some things. There you go. Oh, yeah, chaotic kitten, that's funny. Yeah, you would trip over the cat's bowl, yell his name, he'd kind of, hey, did you call me? Colleen, the dog's water bowl holds 14 quarts of water. I think I remember saying, like, if I made this something like this for a large breed dog like yours, it would need to be the size of a toilet or something. You could never stay mad at him and his cute little face. You're talking about yours. Got Finn there at the bottom. Well, try it that way. Oh, he thought it was treat time because you were in the kitchen. Yes. Ooh, nope, 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 nope. Hey, Spook, you just missed Kiba. He was just up here. You got southern food for lunch, Spook? Ribs, mac and cheese, and collard greens? Daniel likes collard greens. I'm not a fan. Was it good? Where did you go? Did you make it yourself or get it at a restaurant? If we go out to, like, you know, a local place or a meat and three around here or something, I like to get a vegetable plate. Picked it up to go. Nice. I never realized that meat and three was a fairly local term, like that it was a Nashville term or a Tennessee description of a restaurant. Which other parts would probably be called like just like a diner. But a meat and three was like, okay, you've got your couple of choices for a meat, and then you pick your vegetables to make your lunch or dinner plate. So what are some of your favorite vegetable sides? If you were going to get a vegetable plate, like, and tell me this: are there different like vegetable sides in different parts of the country, kind of like fried okra is in the South? Like do different regions have their like maybe foods that you don't see other places, or is everything pretty universal now? Depends on the place. Like I will I love fried okra, and I will get it whenever I see it. And like I think it was last year coming back from TwitchCon, I was like driving through Kansas City, and I'm like, you know what? I'm gonna stop here and get some barbecue. It's supper time. I'm gonna just find a place close to the interstate. I'm gonna stop, get some barbecue, and just and go. So I found some place close to the exit, and I went and got a barbecue sandwich, and it was just a little place with a drive-through, and I went through local place, and it was like sandwich and a side and a drink, and I'm like, okay, what side do you want? Oh, I'll see you got fried okra. I'll do fried okra. Okay. And they gave me, I'll never find this place again, but like they gave me this massive barbecue sandwich, and when I'm thinking of a side like you would think of fries or something, they gave me a brown, the little brown sandwich bags, an entire thing full of fried okra. I'm like, I'm going to be eating on this all night. And it was great. Like, this is a meal in and of itself. So fried okra is so it's a fried vegetable, so you have the bread, the crunchy breading on the outside. And the vegetable itself, when it's fried, it's a little bit slimy, so kind of squishy. So you have like the crunchy breading versus kind of like the with a slimy texture on the inside. And I would say that it's more sweet than bitter, but not like super sweet. Like I would consider like squash sweeter, but it's a deep fried vegetable. There's not always a lot of extra flavor there besides the deep fried. Not as sweet as a carrot, no. But I guess I just meaning like it's not bitter. So like I'm analyzing it now. Like so, the taste of fried okra. You have the deep fried breading. The okra itself is similar. I'd say it's similar to like I want to say like a green taste, kind of like a green bean. So you have the I wouldn't consider it fibrous. It's one of those foods that it's its own flavor. Oh, it grows like a weed? I didn't know that. I'd say the sliminess of it is what a lot of people don't like. It's more the texture than the flavor. And then if you have like commercial fried okra, is you're gonna have like, you know, stuff that comes like in a frozen bag, kind of like French fries. So you have like each little piece of okra is perfectly breaded and it stays together. But if you ever do like homemade fried okra, is just as amazing, because you have your cornmeal batter that you try to coat the okra in, but it never sticks properly, so you end up with like tons of little like crunchy bits of fried cornbread mixed with the okra, and it's good. And I remember my grandmother like cooking it in bacon grease, so that's another flavor there that adds whole another level of richness. I don't know that bacon grease takes away from the sliminess of it. It just adds another flavor. Now you're getting hungry. We have 74 so far. There we go, much better. Ugh. Alright, that was 78. I think I'm going to do 2 more to round it off to 80, and then I need to check on some of the pieces that I've made because they're starting to dry out. So maybe it's drier today than I thought it was. Because drying time has so much more to do with the weather than anything else. I mean, sometimes I can put a fan on things if it's a really humid day and get things to dry out faster, but we're coming off of summer and I'm so used to things just taking forever to dry out. Yeah, I'm just going to compress that back down. There we go, much better. No, okay, this one doesn't want to be one today. I'll just go on to the next one. So that is our first claytality. No, there's no money in there. No more in that one. We have had a claytality. It did not want to be a mug today. Maybe it'll want to be something else tomorrow. Or the next day. Or maybe it just wants to go swimming in the reclaim. Alright, I think I'm going to take a break Maybe put some medallions on and cut up some of these yarn bowls. We did 80, so I got to 80, which is not bad. Oh, Andy Mecca's on doing ugly pumpkins. We're gonna go see him. So guys, thank you for watching. Thanks for hanging out with me for a little bit on your Saturday afternoon. I greatly appreciate it. Tomorrow I am going to be helping Daniel tear down the show that he's at. So I won't be here tomorrow. Monday we're going to be unpacking everything. So I may not be back on Monday. Maybe Tuesday before I see you again. So have a good rest of your weekend. And again, thank you for watching. And I will see y'all later. We're going to go see Andy Mecca doing some pumpkin sculpting. So let's go say hello.